Gather around. It's time for the show to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Hey everyone, my name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, there were so many matches this year that were just too much.
So this won't be a shocker because we've had a handful of really awesome matches that we just can't stop talking about.
How many times have these guys fought? Like it's been quite a bit.
I've been saying this all year. They're just so great to watch. We saw the heel turn coming, and then when it happened, nice and bloody, both dramatic and beautiful.
You are now entering the ring with Chutes and Ladders podcast. Here are your hosts, Desiree and Jason.
Chutes and Ladders, greatest and worst Royal Rumble winners. What's going on, everyone? My name is Jason.
Hi friends, it's Desiree Josen.
All right, Royal Rumble is just around the corner, and today we're ranking the greatest and worst Royal Rumble winners of all time. There have been some epic ones. There's also been some ones that we just kind of shook our head. Des, what are your initial thoughts?
Exactly what you said. There are some that we have celebrated and we felt so great about, and then there are some where we're like, what the hell is this? We did not ask for this. This doesn't make sense. And I'm glad that it looks like a lot of us fans have very similar thoughts. So I'm hoping we might actually have the same ones too.
I'm gonna preface this now. You're probably gonna shake your head at some of mine, and we'll get to why in a little bit. But let's start off with the worst Royal Rumble winners. Let's start off at number 5. All right, Des, who comes at number 5 for you?
Okay, so not that he's terrible because I know a lot of people love him. He's not my guy, but it's Roman Reigns. Specifically from 2015. He was just being pushed on us, and we're like, we don't want him right now, okay? Give him a year or two when we do. I don't know. It's just like they pick a guy, and they just want to strap a rocket to him, regardless if us fans are feeding into it or not. And this was the year where they were like, you're going to get Roman, you're going to like it. And
okay. We haven't seen each other's countdown. He's actually my number 5 because you just said, but I cheated, and I did that a lot in this countdown.
We know that's your history.
Yeah. Okay, I have another one that I was just like, you serious? Seth Rollins when he won.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, and it's just exactly what you just said. They like a guy, they hone in on one particular wrestler, and they push it. I don't think it really did it. Either one of those winners, like, it's not like it moved the needle that much. To me, part of what makes Royal Rumble such a strong event is to kind of give that element of surprise, unless it's a guy that is deserving of that push. So, yeah, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, so 2 out of 3 Shield members. Yeah, I just, like, they could have done better, so.
So funny, yeah.
All right, number 4, who you got?
I have Brock Lesnar from 2022.
Okay, listen. All right, and why? Because I actually agree with you.
I just feel like it was lazy. Lazy booking. He came in at number 30, knocked everybody out. He wasn't even hitting like certain spots. He was just, get out of here. I'm tired. I'm done. And it was just, I feel like it was a lazy booking. They were trying to set up Roman and Brock again that we're just like, okay. It was just very lackluster. Whenever we hear his music, we're like, cool. It's exciting. It's cool to see Brock. But not in that kind of light. So I just feel like it was just a waste, and they just didn't care for it. It was just like the easy way out.
I totally agree with you. I thought you were also going to mention the fact that I was in St. Louis and you wanted Orton because that you would be totally justified in that.
You know, I'm not going to always bring up Randy, but that was also my hidden agenda.
Yeah, I'm actually with you. That's not on my list, but I totally see your reasoning because of everything you just said. In addition to that, they were so honed in on champion versus champion, but how many times have they unified the titles and then eventually split them up because they realized it doesn't work? So, I didn't like that, but I have another number 4 who is a big guy, pun intended. Mine was Big John Studd.
Okay, yeah.
Now, listen, I will say that back then, the Royal Rumble didn't have the same type of significance as it does now. So they didn't have a guaranteed title shot at WrestleMania, so I think they were kind of experimenting. But he technically fought Andre the Giant at one point in time. So, I mean, like, if you're going to make someone win, just kind of do something with it, and they didn't do it. So, I did not like that. So, that's my number 4.
That makes sense, yeah.
All right. Middle of our worst winners of all time. Who you got number 3?
Okay. This was on a lot of people's lists. I didn't rank him number 1 just because of who his character was at that time in the Attitude Era. I'm going with Vince McMahon, 1999. God, it pissed me off. I remember being in like middle school, being like, "What the hell is this?" And like, it was supposed to be Steve again, and with The Rock standing there, and then Vince just pushes him on over, and it was just ridiculous for him not to really carry through on that either. That was just annoying too. So just, with Vince being who he was at that time, and then, trying to hurt our guy Steve, yeah, that just made us all livid.
Okay, so that's on my list. I did not like that. It was absolutely ridiculous. I actually have it ranked a little bit higher, so my number 3 is actually Yokozuna.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I say that because, again, I don't think, in the grand scheme of things, as far as, like, what it did for WrestleMania, no, I don't think, I don't really think, I think there were other guys that should have won. I mean, they had an agenda to really push him, just as, I think we're seeing a theme here, that there's an agenda that they really want one or two, one particular person to win, and they're going to do it no matter what, whether it's good, bad, or etc. So, yeah, I didn't like Yokozuna winning. Listen, nothing. I think Yokozuna is well deserved of being a Hall of Famer and the whole nine, but I don't think it made sense.
It didn't work at all.
All right, I'm glad we agreed. All right, now we're getting down to it. Who's your number 2?
This one I do not care for. Ronda Rousey. 2022. Okay. I thought that was bullshit. I have my feelings about her in wrestling are probably similar with some other true fans, but I just feel like it was just exactly, if you watch that Becky Lynch interview where she was like, she just comes in, doesn't really do anything, doesn't respect the business, and just comes in and gets a title just because of what she's done with UFC and other things along those lines. I just don't like how they handled things with her, just giving her things and not appreciating or taking care of the business. And I don't know. She just rubbed me the wrong way the entire time. So, yeah, get out of here. No.
Okay. Listen, I totally understand where you're coming from on that. I think a lot of people were upset. I was actually debating that, about putting her on the list. I mean, ultimately, I think WWE and UFC has such strong ties. I think that's why they did it. I mean, just like you said, we kind of, seems to be a similar theme of the winners that we dislike. There was something there, so that there's another agenda behind it. But that being said, my number 2 actually is Vince McMahon. It was so dumb. Nothing about that made sense. I mean, and again, winning the Royal Rumble is such an opportunity for so many people. It really can create a fun story, especially if it's a surprise winner. But this is not the surprise that we wanted, so it was awful.
I just look at it, clearly they had no other guy to push or work on creatively, so it was just another lazy pick.
Exactly. All right. Now, who takes your number 1 on a list that you don't want to be on for Royal Rumble winners?
Respectfully, I know it's not your fault. And this is for anyone who is on this list. I know it's not your fault. Creative, that was most likely their idea. But of all the people on the list, I'm like, I can understand why they're picking them. But in this case, Alberto Del Rio.
That's my number 1.
What are you doing? It was a dark time in wrestling because it wasn't that good. And then they had enough nerve to do a 40-man Rumble, and then they picked him? And it should have been Santino? Come on.
And it was in Boston. What's really crazy is Cena won the year before, Cena won the year after. So the one time that I was in Boston, they don't pick him. Yeah, it was by far the worst. I hated it.
And he loses to Edge at Mania.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So if you're going to have someone win the Rumble, and then I think that was the first time they opened with I think that was one of the first times that they opened a world title match. And he loses. So what was the point? So, and to be honest, a lot of people think that WrestleMania 27 was one of the worst WrestleManias. And again, I think this was part of it. It was absolutely dumb. It made no sense. Yeah, I hated it. It was an absolute mess. But yeah, I didn't realize that we both felt that strongly. But yeah, I did not like it.
I think the rest of the wrestling fans have agreed upon that too. So.
All right, now let's go the other way. So now we're going to talk about some of these legends that catapulted their career. Who's your number 5 for favorite winners?
I have 2. Because
you like me, I love it.
Yeah, just because I couldn't pick, and one of them was just for the pop, and it wasn't really the win that I cared about. It was just because he showed up. So my 5A was John Cena from 2008. I enjoyed it, but it was just because of his pop, and that was just a crazy return, and we weren't expecting it. So that was just for whatever nostalgic reasons. The other one, 5B, Rey Mysterio. I just feel like he was the underdog. You don't expect someone that size to actually win, and then for him to do it, it's just really cool. He did it for Eddie. It's just fun. So I enjoyed it.
He's on my list, and I went to that Royal Rumble. All right. And one thing I'll definitively say. If Des was physically close to me, she would have every right to maybe smack me because I cheated on every single one of my
I know you did.
But I had to because it's Rumble. So I had to. And for this number 5, there's a theme. It's because these two guys really surprised both of us. Jey Uso last year at my number 5. And I know you don't like this, but Sheamus in 2012. I rewatched it. And it's just, we really, really, really didn't see that coming, especially because, listen, it was in St. Louis again. Orton was the Final Four. Jericho knocks him out. We're like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so now it's going to be Jericho. And it wasn't. And funny enough, Jericho ended up headlining Mania as well. So the fact that they gave it to someone that no one saw coming, because, again, I have to say that was Jey Uso and Sheamus were 2 of the more surprising winners that we've seen maybe ever. So
Jey Uso I get, but Sheamus, that was on my honorable mention for worst.
Hey, at least it made the list for both of us. All right, who's your number 4?
This one was tough just because I didn't want to put him on this list just because it was just so generic. But I couldn't deny it just because of the fans behind it and what it's really brought lately for the past 2 or 3 years, and that's Cody.
That's my number 4.
Yeah, and I was there for 2024, which was really cool. I just remember sitting in the box and everyone was like, Cody's gonna win, and I'm like, I get it, but it's gonna be just as exciting. And then what do we know? We look at the corner of our eye and Roman and Seth are sitting right next to us, staring him down. And so I thought, I know creatively the year before when he won, we were pissed off and we're like, come on, just let him finish his story. But sometimes you do need it. We need that closure. So I'm glad. And he's done great things. He has catapulted his career. So, and then that's exactly what we want for a Rumble win, is to completely transform somebody. So, yeah, Cody.
All right, awesome. And the reason why I cheated is because I actually have Cody as well, but it's the 2 Royal Rumbles, because to me they kind of are the same. So yeah, everything you just said, it was amazing. And listen, you were at that event, makes it even more special.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, who you got?
Okay, love her so much, Bianca Belair.
Ooh, good choice.
You know why? And I said it about Cody, and I said it. I look at a Rumble win as if we're going to completely elevate this person, and it's going to get them somewhere really big with Mania and potentially skyrocket their career. When Bianca came in from NXT and she was called up, it was very stale, nothing major. And then when she wins Rumble, she has that really awesome Mania match with Sasha. And then look at her now. We can't keep our eyes off of her. She was in the best women's match last year. So that just tells you the power of a really good booking and picking the right person. So Bianca is a star, and she is a true example of a Rumble winner.
1,000,000%. excellent choice. That when she whipped Sasha with her hair and then got the pin. I mean, like, and right after, if Sasha was outside the ring, she automatically looked at her back and she was like, "Oh my gosh!" So yeah, that's a burning image in my head. So yeah, and it was in Tampa. That Mania was in Tampa too. So that was really cool. Okay, my number 3, and I technically cheated, but I made sure that I put him at number 3 because he's the only 3-time Royal Rumble winner in history, Stone Cold Steve Austin. So I'm going to go all 3 wins, all 3 wins. So this is how I quote unquote cheated. But again, going back, we kind of have a theme that talk about catapulting career. Stone Cold was the hottest wrestler at that time, and he won 3 out of 4, and he really should have won 4 in a row because McMahon shouldn't have won that
99.
one. So yeah, I have him in. I mean, it was he. I mean, how many times can we say that there was a guy that absolutely just dominated the Royal Rumble and then WrestleMania, and that's him. And again, in the zeitgeist of wrestling, you have Hulk Hogan, Undertaker, Macho Man, The Rock, John Cena, but Stone Cold's up there too. I mean, he was the leader of the Attitude Era, so.
Hell yeah.
Pun intended. All right, number 2, we're getting down to it. Who you got, Des?
You know what? He does not get enough credit anymore, and I find it very rude that he does not make anybody's list anymore for Royal Rumble, and that's Shawn Michaels. Okay.
He's on my list, by the way.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, because when I was just, exploring other people's stuff and just, looking around at information, he never appeared on anyone's list, and he always tops my list. So, I'm going with my man, Shawn Michaels. And can we talk about it? He's a double winner. That's very rare. And the fact that he had that infamous win where one foot hit the ground and Davey Boy thought he won, and then he gets back in there and wins. And then he does it again where he swings from the ropes the year later, and it's just amazing. And he knocks out Diesel when they're part of the Clique. But a lot of people try to emulate that now, still to this day, where they try to jump and hang, and I'm like, that's not Shawn. So so my man Shawn Michaels will always be a star.
Wow, and I'm pretty sure I know who number 1 is, but I'll give you my number 2 first. I have 2, number 2. But we already talked about it. Rey Mysterio's one of them. I went to that Royal Rumble. The fact that he, at the time, lasted longer than anyone else. He was a number 2 participant. Again, number 2. And it was in Miami. He did it for Eddie. I mean, again, Miami is known for having a strong Latin audience. The crowd went nuts that night. Loved it. So I had to put him on there. I'm going to put another guy on there. And when Rey Mysterio won, it was kind of like, I always root for people, whether it's sporting teams or anyone, where people are just knocking on the doorstep, they're just waiting to be elevated, and when it happens, you feel the relief with them. So Rey Mysterio is part of the reason why that makes that list. The other guy, the second guy ever to be number 1 from start to finish, and talk about a guy that was known as the best for so long. I know it's controversial, but I'm going Chris Benoit.
Okay, yeah.
I remember, when that happened and he finally won and everyone's like, whoa, he's going to finally get his push. He's been that mid-card guy for so long. And again, him headlining Mania in Madison Square Garden, that moment with Eddie. Again, it's funny that both these guys tied to Eddie, but, again, they're all best friends in real life. And, man, it's just so special. So both, I had to cheat. I'm proud of it, but Chris Benoit and Rey Mysterio are my number 2.
Those are fantastic choices.
All right, Des. Since you said Shawn Michaels is number 2, I have a feeling I know who your number 1 is, but who is your number 1?
Well, let's just let the glass shatter right now. It is Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is Mr. Royal Rumble to me. He is a 3-time, technically a 4-time winner. 97, 98, and 2001, and should have been 99. He is a badass. I just feel like he excels in these kind of matches, and then goes on to main event one of the best manias ever. So I mean, this was true Attitude Era time. How could he not be the star of this. And, so many try to top him with his bad attitude and his promos and just his dirtiness and just being the rattlesnake, but you can't top him. So have fun trying to beat him. So, Stone Cold, he's a solid ass man, a solid ass Rumble winner. I love him.
Love it. Okay, obviously it was on my list, so I definitely validate that. All right, my number one, we kind of mentioned it. You already mentioned it yourself. He was on your list. Shawn Michaels, because this really did catapult him into becoming Mr. WrestleMania. I want to hold that there because there's a theme here. So he won back to back.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, I know Stone Cold technically won in San Antonio in 97, although it should have been someone else. 10 years later, Shawn Michaels was second to last in his hometown, and he lost to The Undertaker. I really do think that, and the reason why I picked both these two guys is because it was so hard. 2007 is arguably my most favorite Royal Rumble. Funny enough, these two guys ended up main eventing WrestleMania for Undertaker to end his career. Mm-hmm. So Undertaker really should have been a two-time winner. The fact that he won once, I'm so glad that they did that for him because it really was well worth it, and he ended up capturing the title at a WrestleMania that I went to. So all the winners that I'd mentioned, there's some type of emotional attachment, which is why I did it. So, yeah. But yeah, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker are my favorite Royal Rumble winners of all time.
Yeah.
And Des, what are your final thoughts on just Royal Rumble winners, whether you liked them or disliked them?
I love it. The Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view, or PLE. It just makes me so excited. I go feral when you can hear the countdown, and you just never know who is going to be the winner. And sometimes, by looking behind the curtain, they don't know until the day of what they're going to do. So I'm excited. We're just weeks away from the next Royal Rumble, and hopefully our predictions are right.
Absolutely. And yeah, I think it's a theme. The ones that we disliked, it's because they really didn't move the needle at Mania. The ones that we liked absolutely did, and not to mention it catapulted these guys' career. So yeah, I think overall, the Royal Rumble has been such a great tradition. It's already Mania season because of Royal Rumble. They kind of go hand in hand, but they're two amazing events.
Yeah.
All right. That actually wraps up this episode. Who are your favorite and worst Royal Rumble winners? Shoot us a DM at the Shoots and Ladders. And like always, please like, share, and subscribe both on YouTube and Spotify. Once again, my name is Jason.
I'm Desiree Josen.
All right, until next time, have a blessed day and a blessed week.
Have a great week. Bye, friends.
This has been Shoots and Ladders. Follow us for more content.